Hello there, and welcome back to Elite Healers Sports Massage. Today, we're going to be looking at Natalie Portman, and we're going to talk about her diet and exercise regimen as she got ready to play the Jane Foster version of Thor in the movie Thor Love and Thunder. Because if you're a Natalie Portman fan, then you know that she gets physically ready for any one of her roles, like the time she shaved her head in the movie V for Vendetta, or the time she had to lose as much weight as she could to play a ballet dancer in the movie Black Swan. And since I'm both a personal trainer and sports massage therapist, I want to tell you if I believe her training program was realistic and got her to those arm goals. Because after doing some research, I found controversy. People talk about if she had natty gains, if it was CGI, or some combination of both, which my initial gut reaction was right. Stay tuned because I'll give you my full opinion after we look at Natalie's workout history and the facts behind it. Now, one thing I want to touch on real quick is Natalie's workout routine when she was getting ready to play a ballerina. In the 2010 movie, Black Swan, it turns out that she learned to dance and trained for 8 hours a day for 6 days a week for a few months straight before shooting that movie. Now, this might sound like a recipe to bulk her up, but you have to remember that how you train will dictate if your muscles get bigger or they get smaller as a result of your training. One of the rules to getting bigger is to increase your strength training routine, with some days doing really modestly heavy reps, maxing out at 8 to 10 reps, while on other training days you do heavy lifts with smaller rep counts at 6 or less reps to train explosive strength. All the while you limit your cardio activity while increasing your protein intake. To lose weight, as Natalie did for the movie Black Swan, means that she would need to have done endurance weight training with 12 reps or higher while dramatically increasing her cardiovascular training, because cardio doesn't have to be running. It could be swimming or even dancing, like was in Natalie's case. To lean out, you're going to also have to spend more calories than you're eating, creating a caloric deficit. Just remember, creating a caloric deficit still means you need to eat. Just go to nutrient-dense foods to give your body the nourishment it needs to stay healthy. Remember, starving yourself only causes the body to go into starvation mode, which causes the body to store more fat the moment you start eating again. So fuel up in limited manners when creating a caloric deficit. So dancing for 8 hours a day while being calorically restrictive definitely got Natalie to shrink for her movie role in Black Swan, and I could totally see that actually being what happened. Now let's take a look at Natalie Portman's training for Thor Love and Thunder, because if you've seen the movie by now, we can see that she is at her biggest size so far. Now, just like every single Marvel actor or actress who plays a hero, they have to get in shape with a personal trainer, and they need to change their diet for a few months before they start recording whatever TV show or movie that they are in. And the same is true of Natalie Portman getting ready to play the mighty Thor. So Natalie had to train for 4 months prior to the start of recording of that movie, which means she had to change a lot about her current workout time, because prior to strength training with her trainer Naomi Pendergast, Natalie liked to do cardio activity from running to dancing, gyrotonics, and Ashtanga yoga. Now she had to change her strength training routine that had increased protein intake, and since Natalie's a vegetarian, she had to supplement her protein intake with pea protein powder, which, if you ask me, must have been tough to take down large amounts. Protein powder already tastes bad. Combine it with the vegan option, and I don't even know how bad it must taste. In an interview to the Andy Cohen show, Natalie admits that strength training for Thor Love and Thunder had her absolutely miserable, as she did not enjoy the lifestyle that came from bulking up and putting on muscle. She said, "Yes, I'm training. I'm in so much pain. Like, I'm not good at this." So it sounds like she was absolutely sore and miserable during that phase of training. One thing I noticed from my research is Natalie said to combat her soreness, she used stretching and Pilates to recover. And this is totally wrong and inefficient. Pilates is not a practice that stretches your muscles. Its true focus is strengthening your core. So let me be clear. Pilates is not a recovery activity to restore your body, so it would have contributed to her muscle soreness and yours as well. Stretching, it can help you recover from the demands of strength training, but you're still going to have tense muscles with knots, and stretching does not get rid of muscle knots. Instead, Natalie should have gone with a sports massage and stretching either after training every day or at very least once a week to prevent her from being sore and help her get back to activity sooner. I mean, she has the money, and Marvel Studios probably would have even paid for it. Even though it sounds expensive, she could have totally gotten a massage once a day for 6 days out of a week for 4 months straight when getting ready for that movie. Oh, this reminds me, one other thing. If you need to recover from training in our New York City area, book your sports massage appointment with us at www.elitehealersmassagetherapy.com and get the recovery you need to reduce soreness, keep you injury-free, and get back in the game sooner. Now, in terms of what makes up Natalie's workout program, I found a few resources, but the best source I found was from fellow YouTuber Amy Lisa, who a few months ago wrote to Naomi Pendergast and got Natalie Portman's trainer to respond and give her a 1-week Natalie Portman workout for her to try out. So I watched it, and it was really insightful. I have to admit, this is really smart, and I think going forward, before I make any more of these celebrity workout videos, I'm going to try to reach out to the trainers and the actors to see if I could get some exclusive information for you, or even some footage. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on an episode, as every episode gets better with each video. So as we look at that video, the main part of the workout focused on 4 days of strength training for her upper body, followed by boxing sessions right after that training. This would have been definitely the type of exercises needed to put on muscle mass in the upper body. It honestly seems to me that Natalie's trainer, Naomi, created a modified bodybuilder style workout to focus on building up Natalie's arms, which were going to be the main thing exposed in the movie, so all the focus was on upper body training. Then the other 2 days, Natalie had to train by doing Pilates with stretching to prevent soreness, which I already told you how I feel about those recovery days and how they could have been improved. Amy goes through Natalie's training and diet workout program for 1 week, and by the end she said that the workouts absolutely beat her up, and by the last day, the work felt so much harder. Now, one thing to know is that Amy did say she hadn't been training in this manner months before starting the training program, but the same goes for Natalie Portman, because in an interview, Natalie Portman admits that before training, she had a quarantine with the stay-at-home orders like the rest of us, and unlike Chris Hemsworth, who uses an opportunity to train harder, Natalie got sedentary and less active during that time. So, of course, her training felt really difficult. Training is always harder when you were just inactive prior to the heavy training activity times. So now let's get up to the part where I talk about if I think Natalie's arms in the movie Thor Love and Thunder are all hers, were they CGI produced, or some combination? Well, let me tell you, I had an opinion before I found an interview where Natalie Portman just straight up tells the truth. So let's start by telling my opinion, why I thought what I thought, then I will just tell you what Natalie admitted herself in that interview. So when I saw the results in her arms from the latest Thor movie, hell, even in the Love and Thunder trailer, I thought, nah, that can't really be all her gains. Some of it has to be CGI. I thought this because I've seen Natalie in multiple movies, and she's always fit, but she's on the smaller side in terms of muscle, and that's been her look for most of 41 years of her life. Now, when you have a certain body type and you're in your 40s, it's a lot harder to create dramatic changes, though not impossible, than when you're in your 20s and 30s. It just takes a longer period of time. And when you combine that with the fact that testosterone is the main muscle building hormone for men, because men have significantly increased levels of testosterone, so that means that we build muscle faster than women. So these would have been the challenges for Natalie. And this is why I really think that Natalie's arms are part real gains and part CGI. Now, if you seek the truth, you just need to hear Natalie Portman in that interview. Natalie admits that what you saw in the movie was part of her own gains and part CGI to make her look that impressive.
A combination of me working hard and also a lot of movie magic.
So it only confirmed what I expected. I mean, by default, Natalie's really lean, so it's hard for anyone to pack on a ton of muscle in just 4 months when their body's not used to it. I mean, look at Chris Hemsworth. The only reason he's so bulky is because he's been working on that physique for years now. And he makes sure that he just physically peaks right before recording any Thor or Avengers movie. And, you know, no matter what your exercise history, you can gain muscle. It's just that you can only build so much muscle with 4 months' time. And that's why for Natalie, it's a mix of gains and CGI. Now, if you want to learn about Chris Hemsworth's fitness and diet routine for the same movie, then what I'm going to want you to do is click on the Hemsworth video on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video.